At what point in your life did you join the Freemasons?
I think it was either 67 or 68.
Oh, that early?
I was a young lawyer in Kumasi, yes. Yeah.
What prompted that?
Because members of my family were in there. Some had been in from even before I was born.
They encouraged you into it?
Well, you don't just walk in there. You are, in a way, invited.
So you've been a member since, what, 66?
67, 68, I think.
And what is your current position in that organization?
Perhaps it's the highest so far in the history of Masonry in at least Ghana, but it could be for the whole of Africa.
Really?
Yes, in the English Constitution, yes.
Wow. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Naturally, when you join anything you believe in and your peers or colleagues keep on promoting you, and naturally you begin to feel perhaps you are doing something very right.
What exactly do you do within the Freemasons?
Are you a brother?
What is it? Because we've heard claims that it's a secret cult, very strange.
It's not secret.
What can you tell us?
The wrong sense of secret. But the whole thing is character building. It's a system that would make a man appreciate or develop a sense of limits, accepting the Creator as the maker, giver of everything. You must believe in that first and foremost, and then also working on the basis of not doing to others as you wouldn't have done to you. So it's a moral.
Is it a religious society or body?
It's not religion. It's not a denominational thing, and so it's open to. You may be a Christian, you may be a Muslim, whatever. You may not belong to any of these, but once you accept there was the Creator, and that we all are brought into a life by Him to acknowledge and serve Him, and also look after each other as humans, doing unto others as you wouldn't, or as you would have done to you, and not doing unto them as you wouldn't have done to you. I think essentially this is the central point.
So no strange or very strange practices at all?
No. But there's a long history to it.
Please tell us.
Going as far back as perhaps times when even King Solomon built the temple to God.
Oh, really? There were Freemasons?
Yes. Not Freemason in the sense, but the modern aspects. And we celebrated the 300th anniversary of the Constitution I belong to. 300th anniversary, that is. But then, those who initially tried to do these things had been persecuted because they didn't really conform with, say, the religions.
Some practices, okay.
And because they didn't conform, they became suspects. And that was what made them go into, if you like, secrecy. So they could continue to pursue.
So is it a secret society?
It's not a secret society. When you say secret society, immediately one gets the impression they are out there to do something. No, it's not cult at all. But and now they've started coming out. So 2 months ago, we celebrated the 300th anniversary of the Grand Lodge of England in Britain, bringing 6,000 attendants from all over the world, some from America, some from Asia, Britain, Africa. We all converged and met at the Royal Albert Hall. And it was just a sight with all the regalia and music and acting. And many of the great names in history, at least in recent times, were Masons.
Were Masons?
Voltaire, Montesquieu, philosophers. There were also religious people, just as Oscar Wilde, you know of him. So
how do you draw the distinction? Meaning you're saying you're a Catholic and then you're a Mason, and does that get
I'm a Catholic, and the Pope, I think John Paul, honored me with a knighthood, Catholic knighthood. They came here to this very room from Centenary House to interview me, because before the Pope would confer such an honor on a person, they would want to know that he would be a worthy recipient. And they asked me, are you a Mason? I told them yes.
Oh.
Well, we went away. They came back, and I told them again. But the Pope, in spite of that, said, go ahead.
Honored you.
It's an open-minded thing the Pope did. So I don't think there's anything. In the past, say about 300 years ago, you know of inquisitions and in history, in Europe, people who didn't seem to conform. Some were even bent at the stake.
Yes.
Joan of Arc and all.
Yes.
So, but that's past. But currently, you've got Catholics, some Catholics in Masonry. But of course, there are still some who wouldn't touch Masonry at all, because historically, Catholics were not supposed to join this thing.
And become Masons. Interesting. You're still on Starr Chat. It's getting interesting by the minute. Our guest is former President John Agyekum Kufuor.